into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
What up? Dude, welcome to Big Brother Season 16, the final episode of our AfterBuzz TV recap. I'm your host, Ryan Hooks, and I am sad. But here's why I'm not sad. I have the beautiful Roxy Striar right across from me.
Hello.
I feel like you're so far away, though.
I'm happy. I am not sad. I'm sad it's over, but I'm happy that I'm sitting with you.
Yes.
And we are a little far. We're in Studio A tonight.
You know what? Studio A is not my favorite. I like C. I like the high desk paneling. You know what?
They each have character.
They have their own special design, and this is the original. So here we are, AfterBuzz Studio A,
OG.
bringing you Big Brother Season 16 final episodes. So, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen anything in social media in the last 24 hours, Derek is our champion.
I'm so shocked.
Oh my God, Derek came out of nowhere and won this competition
What was that?
10 weeks ago, maybe.
It's so crazy. Nobody ever would have guessed that he won. He played the worst game ever. I mean, come on. Like,
No.
Did you watch the show last week? I mean, I would have bet my life on it that he was going to win.
Oh, absolutely.
I would have bet my life on it. He killed it. He was amazing. He deserved to win. I love him. I think he's one of the best players of all time.
He is now a Dr. Will. He is now Dan. He is up there. I mean, he's not Rachel Riley, who is my all-time favorite player. So Rachel, I love you. But, you know.
Why, are you thinking she was getting a little jealous there?
No. You know what was really funny? So last night, I'm just gonna go put this out there because I'm really stoked about it.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Let me just go ahead and throw this out. I went to the house last night for the finale, and I was in the backyard with some of the interviews and such, and I was with Rachel, helping them with interviews and such for Bite Size TV, and I had to laugh at some of the moments because, you know, everyone loves Rachel, and she's an icon in Big Brother.
Right.
And everyone like had something to say to them about like the game in comparison to like Rachel's game. And so this one time Frankie was talking to us, and she was like, Frankie, you played such a great game. It was a great game. And he's like, better than your game? And I was over there shaking my head no. And he looked at me and he goes, why is he shaking his head no? And I was like, Frankie, you know, she's paying the bills. Your game wasn't as good as hers. And he just gave me this kind of dirty look because Rachel was like smiling at him but didn't want to say anything. And then I kind of made the comment to Frankie about...
I mean, I think Frankie played a very good game. Frankie also, I believe, has a career outside of Big Brother.
Agreed.
I think that he will go on to do pretty big things. I know that I'm a bigger Frankie supporter than most out there at this point.
You didn't get on the hate train like a lot of people?
Yeah, I just really never did. I think that he rocks who he is, and I really like him.
You know, and I was telling you this before we came on the air, a lot of parts about his game I didn't like, and there were some things that he did that were a little backhanded that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I feel like he's the type of person that would definitely grow on me. Like if I was outside of the house hanging out with him, like some of his overbearance, some of his flamboyance would just like become kind of fun. Because he does have energy and a positive vibe around him all the time, and he's like very excitable, happy person.
If you just learn to laugh, if you just learn to laugh at the things he says and laugh it off. But I understand that when you are in a game and there is serious money on the line, it's hard to chalk things up to laughter. You know, it's hard to be like, oh, let me just laugh that off. If somebody's ruining your game, there's $500,000 on the line. It's hard to like somebody that you don't like at that point.
Exactly. And the thing that I actually really liked about him last night, the more I listened to him talk and the more I saw him do different interviews with people at the event after in the backyard, the more I like realized how much he knew about what was going on in the game. And I don't know if you noticed when they showed Derek saying he was a cop, Frankie threw his hands up and he's like, I knew it.
Yeah.
And he was the one that was in, you know, he's in on a lot of things and he knew a lot. Him and Nicole both were so observant throughout the season about what was going on and who was doing what that he had a very good chance at winning. Had Caleb not backstabbed him, Frankie could have won.
I don't know if in the end he would have had the votes and the respect the way that Derek did. I think that people just appreciated the kind of game that Derek played more. Although, if it had been down to Derek and Frankie, my vote would have been a toss-up.
It would have been a lot closer.
Yeah, it would have been a lot closer, absolutely. I still think Derek would have pulled it off, but Frankie never would have taken Derek, and Derek never would have taken Frankie, so that never would have been the final two. Frankie against anybody else would have won.
Agreed. So also, with everything that happened, so Friday's episode basically was just a recap of things that have happened throughout the season and, you know, various moments that weren't shown throughout the time frame, basically filling some air and that kind of stuff. They did get into the HOH competition. There's a fly in the studio, everyone.
Give me the fly.
Hold on. We've brought the Executioner, not to be confused with the Exterminator from season 15.
Oh, no, it's coming your way.
Oh, snap. We're going to get that fly in here. He saw it coming. He flew away. Okay, back to what I was talking about. And basically
But I'm ready for you. In case you come, I am ready.
Back to priorities. This is talking about Big Brother. They basically.
Oh, okay, right.
That's what I'm doing. I don't know what you're doing.
It's so hard after the show's over. I mean, we have a whole another year, so I'm glad we do have this recap show so that we can
We're so far
talk
away.
about this for a little longer.
Just drag it out just a little bit longer.
A little bit longer. Last days of summer. All right.
Uh-oh, it's on. That fly's going to get it. Anyway, back to what I was saying about the game. So Friday's episode ended, though, with the HOH competition, which was a 3-part competition.
Right.
Part 1 was go fly a kite, basically. And they were hanging on a ledge, and the wall was tipping forward. And it was amazing to me how detailed the ground was, because it looked like they were so high. They were like 6 inches off the ground.
Right. Okay, this is my problem with this game. And if you watched last week's show, you know that I asked for an endurance comp. I knew they were going to give one to us, but I was like, this is what I want to see. I want to see something where you have to outlast somebody. My problem with this, and I have a problem, this is my problem with a lot of different competition shows, is that a woman or a short person is at a clear disadvantage for something like this. You have to reach out for something. If you saw Victoria,
she couldn't get her hand around the bar either.
Her hands around the bar, and she was on her tiptoes the entire time. Something that you have to stand up on something for longer, or balance, or any of those things, that it doesn't matter how you were born, you would be capable of this. But if you had the strongest woman in the world or strongest man in the world, and they were 5 feet tall, they wouldn't be able to do this competition. And I know that's the game, and I know that's how it works, and I know even if this was a different competition, Victoria still probably would have sucked at it.
Any competition this far.
Absolutely, but the point is, I hate watching. They were so clearly at an advantage because they have a foot on her.
Well, and that's one thing that I like. So in Survivor, a lot of times when they do competitions that are about weight and balance, if you like, there was one that they did last season where the contestants had to hold on to a rope that had a bag full of weight in it, but the weight was 25% of their body weight.
Right.
And it was, depending on your body weight, 25% of what you actually weighed when they weighed you in, and you had to hold that weight. So everyone was holding equally 25%. So if I weigh 200 pounds, you know, I'm holding 50. If you weigh 100 pounds, you're holding 25.
Right.
So it's
Thank
fair.
You for that, by
You're
the way.
welcome.
Yes,
I did it on purpose.
I weigh 100 pounds.
Yes.
I just think, like you're saying, it's got to be proportional. What's it called in golf? You get a mulligan. Or,
yeah.
That's what,
handicap.
A handicap. That is the word. I think that's what it should be. I mean, maybe that's what it was, and I'm just really missing something. But it seems to me, it looked like she was actually on her tiptoes and her fingers. The fact that she lasted 40 some odd minutes was a miracle.
Right.
A miracle. So I feel you, girl. I'm part of the Good Things Come in Small Packages crew. That was hard.
She was looking good last night in her gold dress, I'll have to say.
Oh, are you starting a little flirt?
Heck yeah, I was.
I just saw that picture. You guys are getting cozy.
I took a picture with her. I posted it on my Twitter.
She's a good-looking girl. She's absolutely a good-looking girl.
She was like, so it was funny because I'm glad they started showing her in kind of a comical light towards the end of the season, because she was really like kind of shy and funny and like just had this like cute innocence about her that you didn't really see in the show.
Even when she says, I love being known as the hitman's little sister. And the fact that in the end, I know we'll talk about this, but that she did vote for Derek, even after hearing him say that he was going to take Cody. Props.
So in the interview last night, she said,
funny,
and I quote, if she had won the final HOH, she would have not taken Derek with her. Because they told her before the week's competition that they were not taking her. Derek told her this specifically to her face.
There's no way. She would have taken Derek.
I have it on tape in a live interview from last night. She said she was not taking Derek.
Oh my God, she's full of crap then. She was taking Derek. Why? Because she thought she was going to be able to beat Cody?
I mean, I don't think she's able to beat either.
Yeah,
of
but
them.
so why would she then turn on Derek?
Just spite. But you know what, though? Also, I heard, too, that a lot of people were saying, had one of them, and Frankie said this on one of the live feeds, had one of them taken Victoria to the final. So had Derek won and backstabbed Cody,
right,
they would have voted for Victoria just out of spite.
Right.
It would have been a closer vote, I think, had Victoria been there than Cody.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And I think what's really interesting is the people who voted for Cody anyway.
Well, okay, so here's...
I know, I'm jumping the gun.
I got the tea on that, too.
Okay.
So Donnie told me that the reason he voted for Cody...
So we've got Donnie and Jocasta.
Donnie and Jocasta were the two votes, 7-2 vote, instead of having the unanimous 9. Donnie said he talked to Cody early on, the first 2 weeks of the game.
Okay.
And he really liked Cody and his mannerisms and the way he talked. He said, sir, he was very thankful, very grateful.
We
very
saw that.
Nice guy. Donnie said, you know what, I think your parents did a great job raising you. I think you're an awesome guy. If you make it to the final 2, I will vote for you. Because of the way he treated Donnie in the early parts of the game and the respect that he showed him, Donnie said he was going to vote for Cody.
I feel like it was more than that, though, because I think it was this whole Team America thing.
I think so, too.
I think that Donnie was very bitter. I really do.
This is just what I was told by Donnie.
Right, absolutely.
I'm sure there are other reasons that he isn't saying.
And I love Donnie.
Me too.
You know,
He's
I love
America's
Donnie.
favorite.
And he won by, there were 10 million votes, and he won by
50%. Yeah.
He won by 50%, and they were voting for all these people. That's insane. Clearly, he did something right to be America's favorite. And I wouldn't be surprised if we're seeing him again on a show like this.
Bold and the Beautiful, for sure.
Yeah, definitely that show, but on a Big Brother or a Big Brother type show. I wouldn't be surprised. I think he is pretty set right now.
I think he's good, yes. And he's not worried about his job.
But I do think that after that whole thing happened with Team America and he suggested what he suggested, and then Frankie had them do the play instead, there was always going to be that rift. Yeah, there was tension, and I don't think that he was going to vote for Derek unless Derek was up against Frankie, and then I think he would have voted for Derek, but only under that circumstance.
So, did you see the teasers with Donnie throughout the Survivor episode leading into the Big Brother finale? They were actually teasing about shaving his beard. He said they called him a week before and said, hey, would you be willing to shave your beard on television so we can use that as a lead-in for, you know, people to stay on after Survivor and watch Big Brother? And he said that he would be willing to do that for them if they wanted him to. And then they let it in and teased it, and then they ended up not. They said they changed their mind like last minute on doing it.
Oh my God.
But they also said, CBS said that they wanted to see what he looked like without it for future things. Because, you know, obviously going into the Bold and the Beautiful that he already got offered a part for.
Right.
And other potential options with CBS.
Because they love him.
They love
People
him.
love him.
Everyone, how do you not love him?
How do you get 5 million people to call in for you? You got to be lovable, you know? That's some serious views.
Did you hear, too, apparently at midnight, the night before the voting closed, so like 9 hours left of voting, Ariana Grande and Frankie's family put out a bunch of Twitter messages about voting for Zach in terms of, like, to be America's favorite. Like, there was this big push to try to beat out Donnie because everyone knew that Donnie was going to win.
But it was after the polls had closed?
It was like right, like within the wee hours of the polling, so that people would do this late surge of voting.
Yeah.
And they were trying to use the fan base of Ariana Grande. And
you know how I feel about Zanky, though. I love Zanky.
Have you heard? There is now Arianki.
It's very, very interesting that you say that because I was watching the show and thinking, I don't know if Zach's ever going to forgive him. And then we saw when Frankie picked Team Zach, so I'm not surprised. Now they've got Ariana Zanky. That's great.
It's just Arianki.
Oh, Arianki.
Frankie's
Arianki.
gone.
Oh. No.
It's Zariana. That's what I'm sorry. Zariana. There it is.
Zariana.
I apologize. I want Frankie on Ariana.
I thought we were combining 3 names. I see what we did there.
They ruled out Frankie, and it's Zariana.
If you watched The Talk this morning, Julie Chen's show, and you saw Frankie on it, Frankie wore his Team Zach shirt to The Talk. He wore it over some spiffy white thing over it, but underneath was his pink Team Zach shirt from the show. So I don't know. And he said on the show, and I believe this is an exact quote, if Zach ever decides to come out of the closet and propose to me, he already knows I'll say yes.
I know.
So we never
that
know.
tension is there. And
we got that sexual tension.
Well, and then Ariana gave Zach a pink hat that says Zariana, or whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Then, like, it's his pink hat that he always wore.
Yeah.
It has their he's Zach and Zariana on it. I'm gonna get it right eventually. Zariana on it, like in gold, like glittery letters, and he was carrying it around last night after the show. She gave it to him.
I wonder if he wears it tonight.
He will wear it tonight to the party, I'm sure.
We're going to the party. We're going to the
and it's
party.
actually, there's still tickets available if people are still wanting to go. You can get them at the door.
So if you're in the Los Angeles area,
tonight at Club 11, 9 o'clock, there's gonna be like an outrageous amount of people there. In terms of, I went to a party last night after the Big Brother finale.
You're so cool. Oh my god,
I'm so popular and awesome.
God.
There were people from like the last 5 seasons of Big Brother. There were people from Survivor. There was a bunch of random actors and actresses at this party too. I saw Shannon Elizabeth there and like just random people. But apparently tonight there's a bunch of people that are Big Brother fans who are also coming to the party. I heard people from Walking Dead are going to be there. I heard like a lot of cool people are going to be there. So if you're in LA and you want to come to a party.
Also, yours truly. So, you know, the coolest of the lot.
I'm going to be there covering the red carpet, so.
That's what's up.
I think I'm going to wear my pink shirt tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
I think it'll be a good look.
You know what? I like the bright colors, and I like going to LA parties.
Is
and wearing.
Elise Victoria going to be there?
Elise Victoria is going to be home with grandma.
So cute.
But baby mama, Elena will be there. Not baby mama. My girlfriend will be there as well, so everyone can meet her. So.
And 1 million hearts across America just broke. Oh.
You know, it is what it is. She's got the curves that I like so much. And
I feel like we need to move on.
I think Mama just wanted a back rub and we saw what happened.
Woo!
All right, moving on. So part B, which we didn't talk about, of the challenge. So after Cody won the first part of the HOH competition.
By the way, very, very manipulative what Derek did up there.
He was like, what do you want to do?
He's like, I don't feel confident. You don't feel confident in a mental comp over Victoria? Come on, man.
He was trying to work it so that
you know what you're doing.
So that he would drop out.
Although the mental comp that they did, if Victoria was ever going to win a competition, this was totally the competition she was going to win.
Because she was up on the block a record 10 times. She is now the #1 most put on the block person, dethroning Spencer.
Well, she was up 9 times. And then,
last week. But to this week, because she was on and got voted out, that makes 10.
Well, was she on the block this week? Yeah,
it counts. Yeah, there was a vote out. So, you know, her and Derek were on the block this week. That was her 10th, because that was Spencer's 9th time when he got 3rd place and voted out. A record 10 times.
And she kept her cool.
Yep.
But come on, you were up every week. You should be able to do this and fly through it.
No problem.
She just couldn't physically do it in time.
It just was, it was too much weight. And that would be one of the things we were talking about, the differential of weight, because there's a pulley system that was pulling them up and down to help control the weight, just like mountain climbing. So her weight would have been easier than Derek's weight.
Also, this wasn't a mental comp.
Not at all.
It was part mental, but
more physical for sure.
It was a physical competition.
Derek killed her. He beat her in half the time.
He did 15 minutes and she did
20, 30, yeah, something like that.
Like, that's pathetic. And I saw in Cody's face, he was so nervous when he thought that.
Because it took him 15 minutes.
Yeah, which is a long time, but not as long as. I bet Cody would have done it in 10.
Well, considering that the last challenge he did in 2 minutes, 2:21.
That was crazy.
For the face recognition competition.
That was crazy. I do think that Cody is undersold as a player.
I agree.
I think that he was a very strong player, and especially after watching last night's episode, I think he was even stronger.
So, for those of you that follow us on Twitter, I had tweeted out that last year's season 15 winner Andy was supposed to be here, as well as Judd and Liza Stenton from Big Brother Canada, all of which had transportation issues and were unable to make it. But one thing I wanted to talk about, I'm going to bring it up anyway, even though they're not here. So Andy won last year in season 15. Andy, to me, in a way, is Cody. And what Andy did that won him the game was in that crucial week, he flipped sides and changed over, and he joined the Exterminators when he joined up with Gina Marie and Judd. And then he turned back on Judd and voted him out. That was what Cody, if Cody would have done that,
if Cody would have turned on Derek and
Frankie, if he would have taken out Frankie when he won HOH about 4 or 5 weeks ago, he, in my opinion, would have put himself in the top. Not necessarily the top, but he would have put himself a lot closer to Derek than he was throughout the end of the season.
I don't think there was anything that Cody could have done that he didn't do to win this game. Honestly.
I think getting Frankie out sooner would have been, because if he would have been the one to have the guts to say, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm putting Frankie on the block, I'm taking control of my game, not our game, my game, voted, and Frankie would have been voted out that week, and then he wouldn't have won HOH with the whole spin, the rewind thing they did, because Caleb won after him, then Frankie won, and then they had the rewind.
I really don't think so. I really don't think so.
That would have, at least that would have been a power move.
I mean, clearly what he didn't end up working to win the $500,000. He still came in second place, where you're getting 50 grand, so that's nice. Wait, speaking of which, didn't Julie announce that if you were a member of Team America and you won, you got another $50,000? Was that ever addressed?
We never clarified last week if that was what was actually said.
I thought that people on YouTube were saying that that was what was said, but now they didn't even announce that on the show.
I'm sure it's really. He won $500,000 is really irrelevant. He got the extra whatever how many times they won.
Yeah.
So I mean he's getting a nice chunk of change anyway.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely. Then his wife gets to decide what to do with.
Absolutely.
Smart plan.
Happy wife, happy life. Well played, sir. Well played. Anyway, so I don't even know where I was going with all this. Oh, I was talking about Cody because and here's with Cody. I said this before when he didn't put Frankie in the box. That would have been the power move that he could have talked about when the jury was asking questions about what he did. Because if you listen to everything he said, the game things he talked about only promoted things that Derek did. It made Derek look better. Every time he answered a question, it made Derek look better.
Yeah, he said, I did it for our game, I did it for our game. But I feel like Cody did have a big hand in getting Frankie out.
His social aspect is what helped get that information.
But who would Cody have gone up against and won? If he went up against who would he have won?
Think about it. If he would have
gone up against Caleb, do you feel like he would have won?
If he would have made the move to get Frankie out 2 weeks sooner, then that would have changed about who was there. I think Caleb would have stayed loyal to Cody and Derek regardless. I think that they could have slowly weeded the people out the same way, but I think it gives him a better chance of winning against the remaining house guests at that point because he has something. I got Frankie out of this game myself. It was my decision, not the hitmen, not the detonators, not the bomb squad, not anyone else. I did this myself.
He would have to be a whole different person, a whole different player, I think, in order to win. The only person that was a contender for winning that I think that he could have beat would have been Christine if he had taken her all the way.
Victoria.
And people were, I don't know. Honestly, at this point, yes, I think Victoria, but like you're saying, a lot of the jury was saying if Victoria made it to the final two, they were going to vote for her.
Just for spite. Yep.
Yeah, so
and I think they got a little comment in that when they were talking to Dr. Will for that little bit.
Yeah.
And I love that argument that they were having back and forth with everybody when Caleb showed up. And
well, because Frankie said that was Caleb's demise by voting Frankie out. Absolutely.
His mom said the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. That.
On the episode, I remember.
He was loyal to a fault, and that was his blunder.
Yeah.
He killed himself. If he would have kept Frankie probably would have taken him.
But then Frankie said this whole thing about how actions speak louder than words, and he's like, but you said this. He's like, but those are words. In this game,
words are actions.
Yeah, totally.
And Derek didn't say things. That's why he won. He got information, he kept it to himself.
Yeah.
He didn't say anything that didn't need to be said. He was I think that's really hard to do in the game because I would think about things too when I watch the show that I would say or do. And sometimes it's really hard to want to bite your tongue and not say the things that you know, not talk about things, not brag about things, especially the type of personalities that are on these shows. It would be hard for me, I think, as well, to not say these things that you know and keep them in and keep them secret.
Say you're on the show and you end up winning. What do you go do? Are you investing? Are you blowing this money?
I'm taking my family on vacation.
That's what you're doing? That's the first thing you do?
We're going to like Bora Bora, somewhere cool and like hanging out.
I thought you were going to say Disney.
We're going Kardashian style. I'm taking my 75K earring and I'm losing it in the ocean.
Don't ever say anything like that again.
Should I not reference the Kardashians anymore? Do you remember that episode where she lost that earring?
No, I remember.
Oh yeah.
I remember.
That was 2 husbands ago though. So
what I really like about Derek winning is that I appreciate what I think he's going to do with this money.
I agree.
I think it's actually going to affect and help his life as opposed to a lot of the other people who I think either would have blown through it. I mean, I think Donnie really could use the money, and he would have done good things with it too. Nicole would have done really good things with it.
Frankie's giving it to charity.
Yeah, Frankie would have given it to charity, which is great, but I'm invested in Frankie, and I know Frankie doesn't need the money. But, of course, charity's a nice, good thing.
Absolutely.
I love that they showed that clip of Zach crying about that again. Like, why don't you just give him the money now?
Why am I even here?
I know. Ridiculous.
And you know what? Like, Zach grew on me. I hated him so much. He was just so arrogant. And, like, I hate everyone, blah, blah. He grew on me so much. He, like, just...
I love Zach.
I just want to, like, hang out. I'm going to hang out with him tonight, and I just want to, like... hang out with him.
Let's do it. Let's take a shot with Zach.
I'm for sure doing a shot with Zach.
Zach attack. You hear that?
There was so last night at this other party, McCrae was there, wearing a pink hat and a Gator shirt, cheering on Team Zach. Okay, so here's some other gossip.
I'm not surprised about that.
I got some other gossip here for you as well. So there was a poll. There was a poll done by K Frog Radio, which is a country radio station in LA. It was about a best kiss. Winner of best kiss from Big Brother season 16 was Cody and his dad.
Wait, what do you mean winner of best kiss?
They put a poll out like what was the best kiss on Big Brother 16?
Oh, and it was
Cody and his dad won best kiss.
Well, there really weren't that many kisses on
I know,
Big Brother
but it doesn't
16.
matter. Cody and his dad won best kiss because it was awkward and weird.
That's adorable.
The other thing that is super cute, and you're going to love this, Hayden and Nicole are potentially pursuing a relationship. They're considering moving closer together.
I love it.
She said maybe Chicago. They weren't sure what was going to happen. But also, Hayden said he wants to take her on a date this weekend while they're in town. Sunset bike ride and dinner on the beach.
Pedicab.
Yeah.
I love them. I think that they're adorable, and I think they're down to earth, and I would love to see them actually have a real relationship outside the house. I think that'd be awesome.
they would have a successful relationship. I think they're both down to earth people that wouldn't be caught up in trivialities of being on TV.
The most embarrassing thing about the show was kissing Hayden. So awkward.
She was so awkward.
And nobody got that that's what she guessed. That they both missed that one.
Both missed it. And
we haven't even talked about that one.
We haven't got there yet. Hayden was so funny last night too. He reminds me of your stereotyped like California beach bum, like just happy and just like chilling and hanging out and just always smiling and laughing. And
absolutely, but he did have some moments that surprised me on the show.
I agree.
He did.
He was smarter than he looked.
Yeah, I really like him. I think that he's sweet. I think that they probably. I don't think that they paired him and Nicole together when they were.
He said last night that his downfall was pairing with Nicole.
Really?
That if he would have made alliances differently, he wouldn't have done Nicole.
I still really wish that he gave her the $5,000. Remember last week when they did? I wish he did.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been so sweet.
Well, that's what he's gonna use the $5,000 to take her on the date. That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
So, and then my other cool thing that I really liked, Christine, that we were talking to her about her vote because she did vote for Derek, which people thought she might have voted for Cody with the whole
I
stuff
really
that
think
happened.
she didn't vote for Cody because of that.
No, here's what she said. I have the gossip. I got the tea.
I don't know if I believe what she's about to say, but okay.
So she said to me that, listen, I'm a super fan of Big Brother. I played this game because I love this game, and she said that she loved the fact that Derek, who's now probably one of the greatest Big Brother players in her opinion, and everyone else's opinion as well, that she was so happy that he got her out that she can say, I got backstabbed and voted out by one of the best Big Brother players ever. Yeah. And she was so excited about that fact, and that's the reason she voted for him, because he was the better player.
And she wasn't bitter about it.
Not
she really
at all.
wasn't. But I don't know. I think that it's one thing to give the money to the person that you think played the best game, but she was such good friends with Cody. He did vote her out, but I don't know. I think that maybe giving him the vote, if you knew that he had the votes to lose anyway, maybe the loyalty there. Although Tim, I don't know how he would have felt about that. The whole thing, it's so hard to talk about because no matter what I say, there are going to be people who agree or disagree with it.
And I was talking to Tim last night, and he was like super happy to be there and just like so proud of Christine and like just couldn't wait to see her.
Did you see him interact with Cody at all or no?
No, they were, so all the house guests were up, like there was different areas. Like a lot of the family was in this holding area that we were in with press, except some of the people that were actually like in the stage. Like Ariana was upstairs, and like a lot of like Frankie's mom was in this downstairs holding area. Caleb's mom was down there. Tim was down there. And like they were kind of, only the immediate family was allowed like at the stage. But no, Tim was like really cool about hanging out and was just happy to see Christine, and I don't think it really bothered him as much as they kind of built it up. Like I think that he saw that it was a game, and he said he's going to talk to Cody tonight though, so
we will see.
But Polly's going to be there. So this is another thing I want to talk about before we talk about the final competition.
Which is Cody's brother that we had on the show.
Yeah, so Polly came in as a guest, and I talked to him last night after the show because they weren't allowed into the.
So he's back in town.
He's back. Him and Angelina, who's Cody's sister, are all in town now. So they'll be at this event tonight too. If you guys are coming, you should meet them all. Also, I met Joey, who is Victoria's brother. He's a really cool guy. Paulie said, and I was talking to him about Cody. Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, who was that again?
Yeah, I know. Another Italian guy. I don't know. Anyway, so I was talking to Paulie about the final because they didn't find out. They found out via like Twitter and someone tweeting them and people sending them text messages from the show what happened because they weren't allowed in the show. Because they were only letting certain immediate family and media people and that kind of stuff.
The siblings would be immediate family, but
parents.
Okay.
Limited seating. So unless you're Ariana, then you have a whole +7. She had a whole entourage of people with her.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't her mom. Her mom was sitting downstairs, but her entourage was there. I know, go figure.
Oh, I should have worn my cat ears.
Meow. I heard those things sold out and you can't even find them.
Yeah, crazy.
Anyway, and I was asking about, Cody's game, and we've been talking about this. And this is something I really respect about Cody and his game, because, I talk about him making moves and backstabbing people and doing this and that, because that's what Big Brother's about. At the same time, he didn't. And you have to respect that he, through the entire season, stuck to what he said he was going to do. He honored bringing Derek. He went together with the Hitman Alliance. He stuck with their alliances as much as they could.
Cody's a stand-up dude.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy. And that's something you respect about him. And I think in terms of his post-Big Brother life, that's going to get him a lot farther now than winning $500,000.
Here's the thing. Derek doesn't need to, he didn't need to show a different side to him. He's going back. He's going to be an undercover cop, or he's going to be a cop of some sort.
If he doesn't get fired.
I don't think he will. No, I think that
his game was good.
His game was the game of an undercover cop. I don't think he didn't say anything racist or rude. He, you know, not like last season. He just kind of burned some people, but he did a really great job. So he's going back to that, and he has a nice little cushion now. Cody, on the other hand, is really, really adorable. Like, people love him. They think that he's sexy because he is. And
that modeling career might take off.
Yeah,
he
wants a modeling career. I think he could have it. I think he's awesome. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him blow up. So there's a lot of people from this season that I feel like went on the show are now getting the publicity that they need, and their careers, the way that they wanted to, might take off. Good for them.
Absolutely. Amber is looking to model as well. She's also looking for an apartment in LA. If you know anyone, hit up Amber on Twitter. She can be your new roommate. So the other thing that I thought was really cool, Joe Costa is in the process of trying to set up a bow tie line.
Cool.
Because of all her different bow ties.
That's cool.
And I was so I went to Ohio State University, and our former president of Ohio State University, Gordon Gee, has over 1,000 bow ties. He has a closet full of bow ties, and I was like, you got to hit up Gordon Gee.
You got to set him up.
I was like, you just got to call him, because he would know about bow tie everything in life, because I know that's her thing. So I think it's really cool. She's looking to make bow ties.
That's awesome.
You know,
she should rock that.
Absolutely.
Can we go back to Amber for 1 second?
Yep, go on.
So I just think it's so funny. So, I mean, anything about her and Caleb?
No.
No, there's nothing going on.
No, awkward and creepy and weird.
Wah, wah.
So I didn't see them interact as much last night, because so how the whole press thing was set up is they brought out the people that were evicted early, and they weren't in the jury. They brought them out first and kind of ran them through the press lines and then kind of herded them out. Then they brought in the people that were in the jury house and kind of ran them through and then herded them out, with the exception of they brought in Victoria, Cody, and Derek kind of last, because they were the final three, and they brought them separately through the press line. So they were kind of all segregated. There was an after party at the house that the people that were not in the jury were not invited to. They were sent off because they came and hung out with us, and then people in the house stayed at this party. So
wow.
There was some weird segregation by CBS.
In the sand.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Oh,
what about Victoria? What's next for Victoria from here, though?
Heading back to Miami, photography. I'm sure that's gonna help her. Paula, I talked to her last night. She is like, her DJ career has just blown up from being on Big Brother. She's gonna go to Dubai and perform.
So awesome.
She's been blown up in New York, and she's doing a worldwide tour now.
A lot of these DJs that do reality shows. I mean, think about Pauly D.
Yep.
Where that came from, you know. Good for her.
East Coast living.
She's adorable. She's like a little.
Like, she's so tiny.
I know.
She had heels on, and she came up to like my shoulders in heels. She's like 4'11".
I think if she hadn't done so poorly in the game, she could have been Victoria.
Potentially.
Like, if a couple things had gone a little differently, she could have been Victoria.
Well, I think that could have been anyone. Do you remember when Brittany came in on the show? She also said that she could have been Victoria to the end with Derek, because he was willing to take Brittany. He liked Brittany until Brittany started talking game with him, and then they voted her out.
Yeah. Derek was like, anytime anybody catches on to me, you're gone. Which is why he liked Cody so much. Cody had no idea.
Yep. Same with Nicole. Nicole caught on to him.
Yep.
You know.
And she was gone.
Voted him
Frankie, same thing.
All right. So part three, whatever, of our HOH challenge this week was
A or B?
A.
Nope.
B. Basically, who said what, how well do you know your house guests, picking A or B. I actually heard somewhere via some chain of things that they were going to alternate answers, so that they were like just going to let it play out who won. Oh,
really?
That they were trusting each other enough that they were just going to do that. I don't know if that actually played out, because they did tie and went to a tiebreaker, and there was the number of seconds from the competition.
Do you think that Derek really would have taken Cody? I do.
I do. And I believe Victoria's saying that Derek told her that, because at that point, he won. It was his game to lose, and he wasn't going to lose. It didn't matter who he took.
So you might as well be a good dude.
You might as well continue finish the game the way you played it the whole year and being the stand-up guy.
Which is why I wasn't surprised when he didn't say in his final speeches that he was an undercover cop or that he was part of Team America.
Yep.
He was just like, I don't want to throw a wrench in anything right now. I know I have this game won.
He knew it was going to come out eventually, but it wasn't the time.
Right.
Or the place.
Right. So they played this A or B thing, and again, Cody, underrated beast of competitions. He really is.
He said he was doing the math on the back of the board.
That's what everybody always does. They do the.
He remembered how many minutes the competition was, though, and did the math. I mean, they were both still off, but he was closer.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's why it took him so long, too, to answer, because he was back there, like, writing out the math. Yeah. I mean, I guessed, and I was way off. I was way low.
Really?
I guessed I was like 2,700 is what I think I guessed.
Well, you weren't there, though, so you don't really know. Oh, but you know how many minutes.
They showed the time frame. I just am bad at math, and I was, like, panicking and excited, and I was on the edge of my seat.
And you were panicking.
I was panicking. I was watching all the I don't know, I was watching the competitions, and I was, like, on the edge of my seat, like, panicking. I was in this room full of people watching the show, and, like, I was just excited.
Makes a lot of sense.
I'm talking about Big Brother.
And if you're listening on iTunes right now and you're like, what was that silence? That was me mouthing to the camera. No, it makes no sense.
And running her face. Yeah. You're over this. Done.
I'm over it.
Done. All right. Victoria's voted out, as we saw, which, you know, again, and honestly, Cody winning was good for Derek's game.
Yeah, it was.
Because, again, he didn't have to do the dirty work. He lost the competitions he needed to lose, and he won the ones he needed to win.
Yep.
It worked out so well for him. 97 days, this has been the longest Big Brother season ever. Wasn't voted once, and
almost
they had
100 days is insanity.
Yeah, Rachel.
I would be going nuts.
Rachel Riley said she won in 82 days.
That's
so crazy. They were in there almost 2 weeks longer.
That's insane.
Yeah, so it's crazy how long they were actually in the house. Plus, you got to figure they were in sequester for a week before the show started.
Yeah.
So you're talking 4 months.
That's the only problem with going into the jury house. Like, you are in there and
hanging
you're
out
like,
with nothing.
Get me out. I'm no longer in here to win money. Get me out of here.
I mean, I feel like it'd be cool if you were in the jury house if they let you, like, talk to your family. They could monitor you to say, hey, I'm doing well. I miss you guys. Whatever. Love you. Blah, blah.
Maybe they do.
They might. They never show it.
We should ask. We'll ask tonight.
That's a good question.
And then we'll tell you next year.
Next year on Big Brother. Actually, so if you guys are interested in Big Brother the way that we are, you can actually audition for Big Brother right now. If you go to cbs.com/Big Brother, they are accepting audition tapes.
You will be Ryan's competition.
You know what? So here's my problem. I was really considering auditioning for this. But my downfall with this whole thing is now that I do all this media stuff, I'm very prevalent in media. And they will see that and they won't cast me because of it.
They cast Frankie.
Yes, he's a YouTube thing, but he also has a famous sister. So then my next thought is my spin-off for that is I'm a super fan, of course. So if I become a reality super fan, because I love Survivor, I love Amazing Race, I actually want to do Amazing Race with my brother, but he's lame and won't do it with me. I feel like that could be like my in. Do you guys think I should do it? If you want, you should let us know on YouTube, iTunes. Somewhere. I don't really know what this.
Honestly, I've thought about it also, but I don't know. I just feel like leaving your career and your life for 3 months, it's a lot to ask.
I mean, you get paid.
Yeah, it's not about the money, though. It's about the movement forward in your career. But if this would help your career, then more power to you.
More power to you, right?
You have my vote.
I'm in. So if you guys think we should go ahead and audition for Big Brother next season, let us know on our iTunes page. You can give us 5-star ratings. You can follow us on Twitter.
If we get enough comments about it, I'll just make a video for fun anyway.
You can just edit me in here, and that can be our video.
Oh, I'll help you out.
Well, and the reason I say is I think it'll be hindrances. So Justin Walters is one of our hosts.
Right.
He has been trying to get on Survivor for like 5 years.
Yeah.
And they found out about him being on AfterBuzz, and they were like really sketchy about it. Even though we're a fan-based network, we're not paid to be here. We just do this because we love talking about shows. You know, I mean, it's still a possibility that I'm going to work on it, and I will let you guys know via Twitter how it goes.
Okay, keep us posted.
Keep us posted on how it all goes.
I need some BB love in the next year.
Absolutely. You know what? Still, Amazing Race, I think, is where I'd want to be.
Don't say that on our Big Brother after show.
I'm saying, for me, a competition show that I would want to do.
Okay.
So one thing I want to talk about, too, which is really interesting to me, and how it differs from year to year in Big Brother, is how the cast interacts after the show.
Yep.
Big Brother Season 15 cast, for the most part, hate each other. They absolutely cannot stand one another, to be around one another. They do not talk. They do not communicate. They hate each other.
I don't think that will happen this season.
Big Brother 16 last night, the feel on the lawn after the show was so like family, so like cool, hang out, let's talk, let's hug, good to see you.
That's cool.
And
That's
it's
really cool.
so interesting how the cast differ. I mean, last year was a unique year with all the racial comments that were made and the bigotry and all that and all that stuff.
That was really tough. That was really tough.
And I think that was hard, but at the same time, Frankie made the comment of Victoria getting, you know, doubled up on, and there was a lot of comments made. There was some comments made against Ricasta as well.
So Frankie actually went and tried to justify some of his comments when he was on the talk today, and he was asked specifically about. I'm trying to think what they asked him a few things about some of the comments he made, and he basically, one of them was about whether lesbians choose to be lesbians, but gay people don't. He made. Right, and he was like, no, sorry, that was really misinterpreted. What I was saying was, I think that you have to grow to a certain place in your life to come out about something and defy social norms or whatever. You should go check it out. It was interesting. The ladies on the talk were like, oh, brilliant answer, brilliant answer.
I'm sure a whole PR team made up that answer for him.
Yeah, I was sitting there thinking, like, was it that good of an answer? I don't know, but I really don't think he meant to offend anybody, and I don't think he meant it maliciously at all. I just think it kind of slipped out. As opposed to last season, the racist comments were completely blatantly unacceptable, and like there was no coming back from it at that point, and they lost their jobs, and honestly I thought that was appropriate. This year I would be upset to see if something happened bad to Frankie, because I think he's very tolerant and a good person. So I just think some people get annoyed by him, and he's over the top, and he needs to watch his mouth a little bit, but I do think he has a good heart.
I think he does too. And it was interesting, he had a team of people last night with him, PR people that were with him during, like, not in the interviews, but like were kind of following him around and taking pictures of him, and like, which is unusual. And Ariana was there, like I said, so I'm sure they were all the people with the family helping protect things that are said and not said, and I'm sure they probably had a help in writing that answer for him.
Absolutely, and I'm not sure what he does want to do, but when they asked him on the show what was next for him, he said,
he wants to hang out with his sister.
This seat feels really nice. I don't know. Is the talk taking applications? And Julie said, you never know.
I mean, I could see that happening.
I could see him being a talk show host, or I could see him doing something in the viral world.
He already is. I mean, he's got the YouTube following and all that stuff. So
he has almost 1 million followers on Twitter.
I know. I mean, Zanky's got like a whole bunch too.
Yeah.
So who knows? All right. Do we have anything else that we need to talk about before we sadly depart this?
The only thing I was going to say is the questions that they decided to ask them.
They were kind of lame.
I thought that they were so typical. Nothing weird, nothing
to put them out of comfort.
Right, exactly. And then when they ask their last question, why do you deserve to win over the person next to you? And then Julie, Julie asks that same question. Her last question is, why do you deserve to win? So I was like, think of something else, man. You don't have that many questions. Isn't there something you want to know? So I think that they had already made up their mind at that point.
I think it's probably tough in the aspect of, I like in Survivor how they let them pick whatever they want to ask.
Yeah.
And they just say, hey, what do you want to, if you have something to say to me, say it now.
Yeah.
And each person says something individually.
Yeah.
And it's usually personal. Yeah. About something that happened in the game.
Yeah, they will say, like, when one time you did this, what happened?
Why?
What were you, yeah, exactly.
Explain to me, justify your actions and reasonings for something you did in the game.
Right.
And I think that is fair.
Right.
In the aspect of questions now become not generic, because they have to, as a group, decide on those questions.
Absolutely.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yep, I agree. And that's about it.
That's it, and that's all. I would say we have predictions, but we don't, because next season is not here yet.
I predict BB17, Ryan Hooks, woo!
I predict it's going to be awesome. Hey, so I want to thank everyone for tuning in this season on our Big Brother After Show. It's been awesome having you guys, getting your comments, getting us on Twitter. We have lots of after shows that we do here at AfterBuzz, so feel free to keep following us, hitting us up. We love talking about reality. I'm going to be watching Amazing Race and Big Brother, so if you want to talk to me, I'm sorry, Big Brother, whatever. I'm going to be watching Amazing Race and Survivor. I've already started watching Survivor. So if you want to talk to me about that, hit me up, because I will be watching every episode.
And I watch all shows too.
Yeah, I watch all kinds of TV, even non-reality. I have a bunch of dramas we're watching. So like, hit us up. Let us know what you think, what's going on, how you're doing.
Yep.
Come to the party tonight. Tune in next season. I want to thank Roxy for being here.
I want to thank you for having me here.
I want to thank AfterBuzz TV for our awesome show. Ashley Elko, Bunky Miller, Ryan Correa, Paul Calafiore, Nikki Haas, Brittany Martinez, and all the other people that came into our show and talked with us. James, Keaton, Francisco, we love you guys. We miss you guys. We are about to roll out. But until then, Roxy, where can they find out more?
You can find me everywhere at Roxy Striar, ROXY STRIAR. IAR.
And you can find me at RyanHooks92 on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. People Snapchat me that they're watching our podcast. No, I love it because I'll get people Snapchatting me and it'll be like, pull up of YouTube with AfterBuzz, like about to watch a show, and it's like they're snapping me pictures. So I'll be like, hey, I'm at the car, like, what's up, driving to AfterBuzz. So I'm just down for that. It's fun. I love interacting on social media because it's about interaction.
Hashtag Elise Victoria.
Hashtag my daughter Elise Victoria. If you're coming to the party night, we'll see you there. Come up and talk to us. We are going to be doing a red carpet outside at Club 11 WeHo. If not, we'll catch you next season. We are out.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.